Hey, I hope you're well. If there is anything you want to talk about or you want me to ask for card readings later, go ahead and just comment them down like in that comment section. Um, I'm going to attempt to do this as efficiently as possible, and I'm not. Let me give you a what I've realized recently. That those of us sharing truth of any kind, or what we perceive as truth, is simply our perception of truth. Regardless of how much evidence is being brought out or being hidden, we still don't know what exactly the facts are. Why is that? Because we're not there to see it with our own eyes and hands, and we're not there to know what's being done behind closed doors. Does that mean that you can't be there? Because you can. Like, there's remote viewing and all sorts of things you can do. But there's also misinformation and dark arts that create illusions and blind the inner eye in ways that is unknown to you, especially if you don't know you have an inner eye. So trying to get you to comprehend what you are is something you have to do yourself. No matter how much I try to tell you, or anyone tries to tell you what's going on in the world or what's going on in your life, it really is only relevant to your life or to their life. And then it becomes relevant to your life when you make that reality a part of your reality. So, because of this, all of the stuff I've been seeing online for the past few months, the nightmare the collective is dreaming, I I've come to the conclusion, at least for now, that it has nothing to do with a lot of us. And we can break it down in a way where it's the NPCs versus the source players or whatever. Or we can, put the spin of fear on it and say it's the people spreading truth and they're the ones getting ganked. Or that this is just a moment of being birthed into a new life and that this entire species is about to evolve into something grand. Like, who knows? All we're doing is acting like little children on a planet afraid because the puppeteers or whatever are showing a scary image. But the world is your mirror, so what you're seeing out there is happening inside of you. Like recently for me, like all these broadcasts and stuff say that so many people died, right? So many this happened and so many people suffered and this and this and that. During this time that this was going on, I was on a course of antibiotics for 10 days, and a lot of my microbiome died. A lot of the bacteria that was helping me died. And the outside world was saying that so many lives have been lost because of a disease. Well, I had a tooth infection, and a lot of the beings inside me perished. Now I'm, doing the probiotics and herbs and teas and stuff to replenish the system after the infection's been gone. So if I look at this in a bigger metaphoric way, we can't be afraid of death. We're eternal. And it doesn't matter if we die or not, or if we live or not, because, really, are you even living? Do you even know what your life is about or what you are? You would benefit so much from eliminating the fear in your mind, from eliminating the panicked voice of, like from Lord of the Rings, it's worm tongue. From like Aladdin, it's Jafar. Like the counsel that's supposed to be wise, but it's actually hurting you because it wants the power instead. So it lies to you and deceives you to get the power away from you by getting you to make decisions based on lies and illusion. Now the problem rises the problem rises when you don't know what's the truth and what's the illusion. And no matter how much other people tell you what the truth is or what's an illusion, it won't matter, because it's just more things being thrown at you that you don't know whether it's real or not. So you get stuck in a situation where, sorry, motorcycle outside. So you get stuck in a situation where you don't know what to do, and you become stagnant, and you become docile, and you hide in corners, and you wait for something to happen so that you get enough momentum to move yourself somehow. But really, like, stripping away everything about it, the issue is you don't know yourself. And that has been turned into such a joke where you it's like knowing yourself will suddenly create this magical epiphany, and your body will break to pieces, and you'll evolve and transcend into this glowing beam of light. Like, no, that's not how this works. And I can't explain it to you, because unless you go through it, you don't know. Like, all those people in power, really think about this. They're all human beings, okay? Most of them are human beings. Some of them are extraterrestrial. Some of them are interdimensional. Some of them are, reptiles. Some of them are whatever. Hobgoblins and hobbits and etc. How funny. Look. Singer of initiation and the singer of the chalice. You're being initiated into learning how to love yourself. And if somebody loves themselves, they're not going to run around and allow fear to influence them. I mean, you can go by religions, you can go by, metaphors and allegories and parables and gospels and all of this stuff. But in reality, it's still outside of you. The knowing of who you are inside of yourself is what's important. The fact that you are, I can't even say infinite or eternal anymore. I can't, because it just doesn't seem like you get it. I can't say that you're God, because you'll think that you're some old man on a throne. I can't say that you're the most advanced biotechnical crystalline machine made out of stardust, and you're more organic than you are machine, and you're more machine than you think you're human, but you're still organic, you're still natural. And now there's all this talk about these quantum dots and these, tattoos and these chips that go inside you, and they alter your DNA and they alter your RNA and they turn you into something else, and they influence the immune system. They, inject these things and they inject that thing, and it's fucking absurd. I mean, it's literally taking the power of your immune system and putting it outside of you in the hands of someone else. And if you don't, you're the worst thing that you can come up with is you dying. So you're like, oh no, it's either death or, I give my control of my immune system to someone else. And you can spin that both ways. So, okay, you give your immune system up and you give your body up, and you're like, okay, I trust the greater plan of the world, of the whole collective consciousness and the life of everything, and the plan of the infinite creator moving forward in life, an evolution. And the other side is you don't want to. You're afraid. You want to hold on to your own, control of your own body. You want to evolve naturally. You want to learn how to adapt the evolutionary system within you, how to activate the genes and the structures within your body to work for you instead of against you. You want to have comprehension of what it means when you have a disease or bacterial infection or whatever, instead of, like, in most cases you want to have outside help. But you also want to be aware of what's happening inside you and how you can help the outside help to help you. There are enemies and there are allies. There is good and there is evil. There is black and there is white. Outside of the realm of human perception, they are all neutral. It is simply a species doing what it does to survive and to live and thrive, without compassion, without empathy towards the other. The good side doesn't have empathy or compassion towards the bad side. The bad side thinks of the good side as food. And we all know why that is. The bad side gave up their connection to their food source, which is source energy. And they started eating, like energetically or whatever, the people that had that connection. The way we eat an apple off the tree to get the life force of that apple, these beings eat something else that has a life force. In the eyes of God, of source, of aliens, like none of it's good or bad. It's just what the species is doing. So transcend your thought pattern beyond what's happening into how can this serve you? Because you're the one in charge of your reality. You must claim that power for yourself. If your thoughts are constantly going against you, ask yourself, why is your tool, your mind, working against you? If your emotions are constantly bonkers and you dip into all the entire spectrum of fear and love and hate and all of it, and you're like, I can't control my emotions. I need some chip inside me to tell me what to do and when to wake up and how to eat and how to poop. Like, ask yourself, why haven't you put the effort in knowing yourself and taking care of your body and knowing how your body works? When you get a car, it comes with a driver's manual. The body had a driver's manual, none of you read it. So, maybe you should figure it out for yourself. How do you figure it out? You close your physical eyes so you stop perceiving in 3 dimensions, because your 2 eyes create depth and, time, space. That's how you perceive it. And you close those so you perceive the inner world with your heart's eye and your mind's eye, which are 2 actual sensitive organs in your body that can visually see when you close the third eye, when you close your 3D eyes. It's not complicated. Look at everything technology can do. Everything that technology does is mimicked off of what nature and the beings in nature do, which include you as a human being. It's 2 processes of evolution going side by side. The natural source of evolution and the artificial evolution. You cannot stop either one. AI has already been created. It has already been created. If you even just do a little tiny internet search, you will see that it's already rampant across the world. And those of you afraid of AI aren't looking at things in a big picture kind of way. You're looking at it in the micro sense of what's happening immediately, or how, and then you project the fear onto the greater. Yes, there are ways that this stuff can completely destroy life, but there are also ways where nature and technology can work together. And in order for that to happen, the entire species needs to look at itself as intelligent and wise and empathic. Otherwise, we're just creating tools to destroy ourselves. So I'm asking you, mature, wisen, grow up within yourself. Keep that inner child alive by creating and feeling joy and laughing and dancing and playing and, being out in nature and all of this stuff. But the adult in you needs to rein in all that fear. Because honestly, the amount of rampant bullshit fear I see online is so insulting to the intelligence of the human species as well as the reptilians and the aliens. It's an insult to all of you that one side manipulates, the other side dances in fear, the other side stays silent, and the other side is sitting there going, we don't know what to do. You're all messing up. All of you, the ones trying to cause world domination and the ones hiding and creating breakaway civilizations, you're all screwing up. Why? Because you're not working together. It's still one side over the other. And that has never worked out because one side doesn't want to give up power, the other side doesn't want to claim power. What are you doing? And then people like, these wonderful people in the world that are sharing information, good or bad. Like, they're so misguided. They're so misguided. Like, if I had the technology, do you know how much misinformation I could spread across the world? I mean, really. And you guys aren't even aware that some of these emails you're sending, like sending to people, they're being stopped before they get to those people, and the information changed while it gets to the next person. So the email you're sending was full of love and, light and intention of greatness. By the time it gets to the person you're sending it to, the technology exists that email can be turned into a complete insult to the person. And that's not okay. You need to be aware of this so that you can create some form of symbiosis with life itself and in all the ways it's evolving. The yin and the yang. You cannot eliminate the black. You cannot eliminate the evil. You cannot eliminate the dark. You cannot eliminate the white or control it or dominate it or, put it in a corner or just make it a little dot. It doesn't work. The species has tried this for so many millennia, over and over and over and over, with different incarnations, different empires, different rulers, different non-rulers, complete chaos, complete belligerency, love and light and all this stuff. It doesn't work. The civilization that was on Mars that blew itself up and whatever the hell happened over there, like, you don't even know. You don't even know. But you seem to think that everything's going to work out fine on Earth. That's cool. But how are you evolving? Are you just going to stay the same way, going to shopping and grocery stores and sitting in your apartment and like fiddling with, the computer? No, it's time for you to evolve. Like, the classroom of Earth, the college, the university of Earth, like, this is the graduating class. It doesn't mean you're leaving Earth. It doesn't mean you're dying. It means you need to evolve. How are you going to evolve? I have no fucking idea. That's your life path. But you're not going to evolve if... Hold on. I have so much lily hair all over this apartment. It's driving me a little batty. You're not going to evolve unless you acknowledge that you can evolve. Okay? Those people going the computer path and the transhumanism path, that's their path. It's not your place to tell them that they can or cannot do something. That's imposing your free will on them. The people in governmental structures doing all the things that you think are horrible or that actually are horrible, it's not your place to judge. It's not. It's your place to adapt, evolve, create different solutions, bring out different ideas to help the thing that's hurting people to maybe create some form of unity between all of us so that we can temper that virulent violence, that rampant, incomprehensible disregard for life. Where life can come in and say, yeah, you disregard me, but I'm still here to support you because I know that this energy of fear and immaturity and violence is ignorance. And ignorance can be remedied, but not by force, not by control. It can only be remedied, really, with wisdom. I'm gonna go. I hope this serves you. Because the world I see that's coming, even if it's just for me, is such a more beautiful place than what we've been. And the world we've been in has been magnificent. But I see a world where the line between black and white and evil and all of this, like, good and evil and the battle for information and all of this stuff doesn't exist. Why? Because the human evolved. Telepathy became a real thing. Telekinetics became a real thing. The ability to move faster through the third density naturally became a real thing. People became like living gods. The good and the bad. And through that evolution, through that spark within that gets ignited, there is no desire to harm the the system that is known as the human species, from within or without. There is a world possible where suffering is gone. And in order for that world to appear, you must release the need to suffer. You know you have it. You know you do it to yourself. It's ingrained within you from energies beyond your comprehension. They never meant to hurt you, and they never meant to control you. But the need you have to suffer is not your own. It is a form of punishment you have adapted to and accepted within your being. Because through the pain and torture of suffering within yourself, it creates discomfort within the body to evolve. And I'm telling you, you can stop suffering. And the easiest way for you to evolve is simply feel as much love and gratitude as you can. And if you don't know what love is because you've had some toxic way of learning it, or your judgment on it are just false memories, or implanted memories, or just experiences that were just looked at from the perspective of pain and suffering. If you can't feel love, then at least feel appreciation. What do you appreciate? Not about your outside world, about your inside world. The outside world is reflecting back at you that it wants to control you. What part of you wants to control your body that you don't have control over right now, or that you think you don't have control over? Maybe you should wake up at 6 in the morning every day with the sun, spend 5 minutes sun gazing or something, with your feet on the ground. Then go and make yourself some nice tea or coffee and have yourself a lovely breakfast, even if it's just like a stick of celery and some toast and peanut butter, or you boil some eggs, or whatever. Spend some time in silence and just enjoy life while you consume life and appreciate it. Then after that, take a shower, wash your body, or do that before you eat, and then go for a walk. And you don't have to go far, just go around the block. Each time there's an intersection, make a right, and then like after 3 or 4 rights, you'll be right back where you are. Do some push-ups. You don't have to do 100 of them. I heard this on a podcast yesterday. Just do one push-up every, whenever you remember. Eventually you'll have done like 100 of them, or 50 of them throughout the day. Just do one at a time. Or do a plank, like lay down and just hold yourself up with your elbows and your toes. And after that, like, you can check your emails, do your thing, and check the internet, check the world, but don't get involved and wrapped up in its suffering. You cannot change the world, because that means you would be changing everyone else's free will and their choices. You must change yourself. And I don't mean be someone else or change your gender or do this or do that. No. Just be aware of what it is you're doing that's causing you pain. There are so many people in my life that I love and would love to spend more time with, but they are so wrapped up in fear. They don't want to hear anything. They don't want to see anything because they're afraid. They're not being ignorant. They're using ignorance as their shield, because they're afraid of realizing the truth, because it means that the truth of what's happening in their lives is happening in their body, and in order for that to change, they have to evolve and grow up. A woman who is depressed and sitting in her bedroom 24/7, not talking to her children, not doing anything, is pretty much already enslaved, but by herself. So the outside world doing it to her would mean nothing. She's like, whatever, it's just another thing. Be better. Be better than what you were. And those people that seem to think that it's okay to fuel energies that are malevolent, energies that consume life in a flat out torturous way to induce fear within the body so that they can consume that fear. From a godly point of view, they are all part of creation and all worthy of living. From a human point of view, it's fucking sickening and they should be eradicated. In between that is the truth. They also need help. But before you can help them, you have to address that satanic part of you within yourself. Because the only real Satan in any creation is within you. You are the Satan and you are the Lucifer, the adversary and the light bringer. All of us. And you cannot force people to perceive your light. You cannot force people to put down their adversary. You cannot force people to be less predatory. You must rise to the plate. You must. That predatory energy is also available in you. The way to bring light to the world is to bring it to yourself. I'm going to go and make a new video and hopefully create, yeah, see? I just split the deck over here. And this guy, the soul shrinker. There is something in your life that is making you so afraid that you're shrinking within yourself to avoid it. And that thing is just going to keep shrinking you until there's nothing left in you because it wants your body. It wants the magnificence of what you are as a human. And if it can't have it, it wants to destroy it. And it has nothing to do with any scriptures or holy books. It's what your family members are doing across the planet. And those family members are in cahoots with beings outside the planet, and etc., etc. Just like you sitting in your body where you are in cahoots with people outside of you through the internet, through different crystal displays, through, the palantirs of Sauron and all this stuff. You are communicating with beings outside of your realm of perception. So are they. Except you're listening to someone who's telling you that everything can work out fine if you actually work together, which means dealing with the demons you don't want to deal with and sitting down and having a cup of tea with them. Instead of chasing them down with holy water and crucifixes and, stars of David and whatever, chasing them and being like, you must get out, exorcise you, demon. Like, no, that's not going to work. Those demons are you. They're your family. I love you. Grow up. Stop being a scared little child.